Eritu ano to obunaru fata aniro anna fatadam. Eritu ano to obunaru fata aniro anna fatadam. Eritu ano to.
After a couple years of learning language, I was getting pretty good. I could say what I needed, even if I was missing some verb endings or mispronouncing things here and there. And it was fun to communicate, especially because it meant that we were nearing the day when we get to share Jesus with our Wabaku friends. But it takes serious mental effort to learn a new language, especially one you can't just learn from an app. It requires also no small amount of humility to be laughed at, misunderstood month after month, year after year. And it takes endurance to struggle to listen to every conversation and still misunderstand most of them. There were many, many days I was just tired of language learning altogether. And I wanted to let my Wabaku friends know, even though I speak like a child, I'm not an idiot. I know things. But in their world, I was a child. I couldn't hunt food for myself from the bush. I could barely fish, barely speak. They wouldn't let me go to the bush alone because they were afraid I'd just get lost. I couldn't survive without them. Not here. And this frustration gave me an idea. Picture the Grinch's ears curling when he first thought to steal Christmas from Whoville. And in my defense, this wasn't a completely original idea. I had stolen it from a veteran missionary. But all too quickly, the plan was decided. Tonight, my scheme would go down. I announced then to the whole village, "Tonight, come to my house. We're going to watch a moving picture." Woo! Everybody was excited. We had shown them some videos on our phones of things we had seen in the village or in the bush, but most had never seen a real movie. As they all started coming, I said, "No, our house isn't that big, so you have to leave your bush knives, your bows, and your arrows at home. And also, leave your kids at home with Grandma. They might be scared of this movie." They completely ignored that advice. The whole village crammed into our living room. People were spilling into other rooms, all gathering around my Mac, waiting for the movie to start. Lakin made popcorn and passed out popcorn on bits of paper towel. This would be a night to remember. Then the opening credits to Jurassic Park began. And I began translating. I wanted them to be able to follow the dialogue, follow the story. Everyone was watching intently, and I listened to their ideas about what they thought was happening. "Oh, he's holding a crocodile tooth." "No," I said, "that's a claw of a large pig called a dinosaur. Keep watching, you'll see." Every four-legged animal here is a pig. When they first saw the long necks, they couldn't believe their eyes. "Ah, warun wayarame! Look at that pig!" They've never seen an animal that large. And this is where I learned the word kukakakakaka, which means wow. While our Wabaku friends had seen videos on my phone, they'd only seen videos of real-life things that happened. They didn't imagine that you could watch a video of something that hadn't happened, wasn't real. But I wasn't going to let them in on that secret and launch into some explanation of special effects. Not yet. Finally, the T-Rex scene. You know, the water in the cup vibrates. There was silence in the room. Then the T-Rex steps onto screen and roars. Even from my little Mac speakers, they were terrified. Some women screamed. Others covered their faces. Men's mouths dropped open in disbelief. I hurry up and pause the movie because this was my moment. For years, I was the idiot, the child. But it was time to balance the scales a little bit. "What's the problem?" I asked. "Awiwaru temre kurifari, boru nakenmi. That pig is huge. It would kill all of us," they said. "What? No. You guys don't have these things in your jungle?" I asked them. "No way, we've never seen anything like that." "Oh, come on, they're not that bad. We hunt these things in our jungles in America all the time," I told them. All of a sudden, I got a little respect. They marveled. "Kukakakaka." And I enjoyed the false admiration. But I was just getting started. Towards the end of the movie, I didn't have to translate as much. People getting eaten by dinosaurs, chased by velociraptors, it was all pretty self-explanatory. I enjoyed all the shrieks and screams. They were also laughing at each other, getting so scared. Everybody was having a ton of fun. But since I didn't have to translate as much, I could sneak out and enact part B of my plan. And then and only then is when I pulled Lakin into my fiendish scheme. Months ago, I had put something on my Amazon wish list, and to Lakin's dismay, one of our supporters bought it and sent it to us. It was one of those inflatable T-Rex costumes. I ran to go get it, and I told Lakin, "You have to help me with this last part. She looked at the suit and immediately said no. And then somehow I convinced her with my charm, I guess. I'm gonna go put this on and hide. When the movie is over and everybody's leaving, I just need you to hit this button on my phone. I had downloaded an app that made dinosaur sounds, including a T-Rex roar. I'm gonna be hiding in the bush with a T-Rex suit with the Bluetooth speaker, I told her. When they're mostly out of the house, just hit the button and let's see if they think it's real. Lakin reluctantly agreed. When the movie ended, I was already sweating profusely in the T-Rex suit in the bush about 10 yards from our front door. It was a hot night. I saw everyone start to leave the house until there were about 40 adults standing by our stairs, talking, lighting their smokes, making fun of each other still for being afraid. They were shaken but loved it. Steven Spielberg would have been proud. It was pitch black. The only light was from the little bulb above our porch. When most of them were out of the house, smiling, unsuspecting, Lakin hit the button, and the Bluetooth speaker let out a tremendous roar. It was a Bose Bluetooth speaker, one of those tower speakers, and it packed a punch. The roar startled me, even though I knew it was coming. Everybody froze in terror. Talking stopped mid-sentence, no more smiles, no movement. I didn't move either. They all turned to look in my direction, their eyes scanning the bush where I was hidden in the dark. And then this final part is why I asked them to leave their bows and arrows at home. Lakin hit the button again, and this time, I darted out of the trees at the frozen crowd. Blood-curdling screams. Everyone took off in all directions, running desperately. One mom who was holding her toddler dropped him between us and ran to save herself. Many tried frantically to get up back into the house, but they were all jammed up on the stairs. The loud roars kept coming, and I was chasing a crowd down the trail. When I finally ran out of breath, I stopped. There were about 10 flashlights on me, so I unzipped the dino head and I asked, Ami, orita Aimi? Where are you going? After a slight pause, the laughter began. I slowly walked back into the light, took off the suit to the sounds of about 50 Wabaku adults, now laughing hard and whooping. Woo, woo. And then the playful mocking began. Hiwasi, we've never seen you run that fast. Mekrin, why'd you drop our child? It landed exactly as I hoped. Real fear followed by real joy. Then everyone came close to inspect the suit. They asked, but how is it so big? So I showed them the little fan inside, zipped it back up, refilled it to demonstrate. They laughed and poked at the vinyl balloon I was wearing. The playful mocking continued. Ha! You thought that thing was gonna kill you, one of them said, and then he responded, yeah, you were running too. Then I had to come clean about the hunting. Those animals don't live anymore, I explained. They're all dead. It was a fake picture. It was all made up. They're just costumes like this one, but better. If those huge dino pigs were real, I couldn't hunt those things. You guys have seen how bad of a hunter I am. We laughed and talked until I had to get back inside out of the mosquitoes. We said goodnight, and they walked home laughing. It was a night they'd never forget. They loved the popcorn, they loved the movie, they loved the dino suit. But it wasn't the last time I'd wear it. The very next day, many came back pleading with me to put the suit back on, to share the joy with a new, unsuspecting family.